new channel, Cook with Audrey, which I renamed from all the other names I had it, but I think I'm going to leave it at Cook with Audrey now, so just look for that name. And today we're going to be utilizing raspberries to make a delicious raspberry custard for dessert. So I'm actually going to be using the blender to mix all of my ingredients. So I'm just adding half a cup of all-purpose flour, maybe like a teaspoon, no, not a teaspoon, that's way too much, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and half a cup of sugar, just plain white sugar will do. Stick the lid on and just kind of pulse everything together a little bit, and yeah, that's it. Alright, so now we're going to start working on the wet ingredients for our custard. In the blender, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk, preferably whole milk, but I'm just using 1% and it'll work fine. In this bowl I have 2 eggs, large eggs, medium eggs, not exact. Also going to add those in at the same time. This is super simple. All it calls for is a blender and a pie dish. So super simple. Half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh, there we go. And in this pie dish over here, I've melted in the oven that was being preheated to 400 degrees, 1/4 cup of butter. It just butters the pie dish and gets you some melted butter for the dish that we have. So that's perfect. Get the lid on there, obviously, so don't spill all over the place. And blend just until everything is liquid. And you may have to scrape it down a few times, but that's all we have to do. Okay, so in this bowl I have 1.5 to 2 cups of fresh raspberries, and I'm just going to throw them inside of our pie dish, which is about 10 to 9-inch pie dish. And it's been buttered with the melted butter that we stuck in the oven, and just arrange it in however you like. Alright, so I arranged the raspberries in no particular fashion or order. I just threw them in there just to emphasize the simplicity of this dish. Then you pour the custard in, and the raspberries will kind of float to the top and give it just this beautiful pattern no matter what form you put them in, and we'll stick them in the oven. Okay, and I almost forgot, before we put it in the oven, this is optional, but I'm sprinkling the top with a little bit of sugar. You can use coarse sugar, but I don't own coarse sugar, so I'm just going to use the normal white sugar that we used inside of the custard. And this will just kind of give the top a nice golden crystallized look, because first we're going to put it in the oven on 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes, and then put it in the broiler for 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, so I'm just putting the custard in the oven, the middle rack. As I've said before, this is preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's going to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. But once that's in, we're going to put it on the broiler for 2 to 3 minutes just to give it a nice golden look. What does it taste like, Ethan?
It tastes like Grandpa and feels like him.
All right, interesting child.
I love how sweet raspberries are, but how good the dough is. It all comes together in the perfect melody of great food.
Right. It sounds like you're faking it, but I think you probably really like it.
I'm not. I love it.
Okay, okay.
Here, you have some.
I already did. I loved it. How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. It's good.
All right.
It's very good.
The brothers like the raspberry custard, and I think you will too.
All together in deliciousness.
All right.